Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering this week and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Westwood, and I'm here with magazine editor David Mark. And David, the Georgia Senate runoff is over.
Yes.
Senator Warnock is re-elected to the Senate, which means the Democrats now have a 51-seat majority instead of an even 50-50 split. What's going to be different in this next Congress with that additional one member?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a huge advantage for Democrats, 51-49, but it makes all the difference. Up until now, almost the last 2 years, they've had this situation where it was 50-50 and Vice President Kamala Harris breaking these ties. That affects a whole bunch of things, including committee rules, getting votes out of committees for nominees, like for judgeships, for cabinet officials, etc. Right now, it's a really time and labor-intensive process. It basically has to be what's called discharged from a Senate committee. Then it goes to the Senate floor, and it takes tens of hours to get it done. Now, if it's just voted out by the committee, they can dispatch it within a few hours. Also, committee chairmen and Democrats on committees will have clean subpoena power. They won't have to ask Republicans' permission. You can see subpoena power coming, say, if they want to get former President Donald Trump's tax returns, like House Democrats have, if they want to get some other documents related to the former president, if they want to, say, pick up the work of the January 6th committee, which is about to go out of business in the House. You can imagine all kinds of other instances in which that subpoena power would come in heavy, so would come in handily. So it's basically, it gives Democrats a lot more maneuvering room.
You know, there's been a lot of talk about how one loser in the Georgia special election outcome is Joe Manchin, because his power is sort of diluted now that he won't be that one vote. But do you think that the effects of this difficult 2024 map, you know, you have folks like John Tester in Montana, Sherrod Brown in Ohio up for re-election in 2024, could that sort of create a few more Joe Manchins that could stand in the way of some liberal priorities?
Yeah, it's a great point. Everybody has their chance to be a free agent here, and I think Joe Manchin actually might welcome it, because basically he spent the last almost 2 years getting trailed by reporters, including some inopportune times to his houseboat on the dock in Washington, D.C., some other places, at social events. He clearly likes the attention, but I think even he's starting to get sick of it. The other thing is Democrats are not going to lean too hard on Manchin because they still need him to run in 2024. He is the only Democrat who can conceivably win that seat, and even that's touch and go right now. The state has become so Republican. There's also a bunch of other states, as you mentioned, Ohio, Montana, which have Democratic senators but are pretty deeply red at this point. There's also Senate races in swing states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, several others. Democrats have a really tough map, so I think they'll lay off pressuring Manchin too much.
Over in the House, Kevin McCarthy, is he going to be the next speaker?
He says he is, and I still think there's a lot of reason to be. It gets a bunch of technical reasons. He could basically only afford to lose the votes of 5 Republican House members. But he's got a lot of tools at his disposal. He can offer committee assignments, make other promises, that sort of thing. I think he's testing it, though. It may come to more than one vote on the House floor when it comes for a vote for Speaker. Could take all day, could go well into the evening. But ultimately, I think he's got enough leverage that he can probably eke it out, but we will see.
Well, David, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
You can get more reporting from David and the rest of the political team at washingtonexaminer.com.